And before we start, we got some new subscribers, y'all. So I'm going to be talking about nails not lifting, okay? So before I start, if y'all have any questions or need any advice or anything like that, don't hesitate to comment down in this comment if you come on this live chat. But I just wanted to talk a few things about lifting nails. I was actually on Facebook. Let me get my phone. Because I was on Facebook and I discovered that, well, I didn't discover, but I was just seeing that there's a lot. Okay, there it is. Okay. So, there's quite a few nail techs that I'm on. Yeah, there was quite a few nail techs that has issues with lifting nails. So I just kind of wanted to pick on that, touch on that topic. We're actually gonna be on this topic a lot. So if y'all ever have questions, don't hesitate to ask. But so I'm gonna go over a few things about it. I have a few tools or whatever that I would like to show y'all and go over. You know, so I'm gonna mention this because this happens a lot when we do the nails, right? And individuals, when they're prepping the nail, what they do is um, they prep the nail. And some people, another thing is do not skip nail prep. A lot of people think that it's okay to not. I would not recommend you not push back the cuticles. Push those cuticles back. And because you will, or push that skin back, shall I say, because if you learn it from the textbook, it's explained totally different. So if you once you push that skin back here, that's down here where the linola is. If you don't know what the linola is, go ahead and look it up. But anyways, if you push that skin back down there, you notice there's excess skin that is sitting on top of the natural nail plate. That's what you're removing. And when you're buffing the natural nail, you're only removing the natural shine. That's it. So you do not overfire. So moving on along through the some people need the dead skin that's actually on the cuticle area removed. Remove that if it needs to be removed, which I don't have to do that very often. But usually, when the skin gets pushed back, there is excess cuticle on top of the nail plate. That's what you want to remove. Now, don't skip that. That's important because a lot of times, what people don't realize when they don't do that, and after they've done prep and all of that, and they go to put the acrylic on, once not at the sometimes it can. I've seen this. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, I used to get my nails done at a shop, and the nail tech could not understand why in the world the she would just do her nails. Like I would be getting them done with my sister and my mom, and she couldn't understand like why the nail would literally lift right after she finished, and like especially like if you get something like um French or something where it revealed the nail, like you didn't get it fully polished, it would 100% show when it lifted, and she couldn't understand. And like now that I'm into nails and all that, I understand why that was happening because they didn't push back the skin, they didn't do all of that, they just went straight in and took the mandrel bit. Let me get one of my mandrel bits. I don't even have any right now. Let me go grab one. I'll be right back. Cause everybody don't know the mandrel bit is. They'll just take the mandrel bit. Okay, so I just grabbed everything because. So they would take the mandrel bit, which is this, and then you take well, no, it's called a mandrel bit, but and then you would take the sanding band and put one of these on there. Those of you don't know, that's what that is. And it's also called something else, a bear or whatever. But anyways, we're not here to talk about all that. They would just take this with the sanding band and buff out the nail, and that was it. And they couldn't understand like when you put that acrylic back. So what it does, let me put this up. I'm sorry, y'all. Did I do this? I don't know. It can happen again. So what will happen is they didn't understand what was going on. So if y'all don't know, now y'all gonna know. So when an acrylic, what it does when you after you place, this is why I always say if you don't know when you place, we'll talk about that in a second when I get to this part. But the acrylic, when it was down there, a lot of people don't know when the acrylic cures, it kind of rises like yeast a little bit. So it cures and it'll go further in the back. So a lot of times people be like, how did it get all the way down there? Like, and their cuticles are flooded and you don't realize that. Sometimes when I do my opposite hand, I do that on accident sometimes. And it's okay because you can fix it. But sometimes I look at my nails after I've like got finished with the acrylic and it cures. I'm like, so and like I said, there's ways of fixing it. That's one thing I've learned about, doing acrylic nails. You can always fix something, but you gotta know what you're doing. So, anywho, they didn't remove that. So I'm gonna show y'all mine now because the skin on mine man, it be something else. So like right there, because I'm finna get ready to do my nails. I took my flowers off first, so don't talk about my nails, y'all. Don't talk about my nails. But anyways, um, they, I don't know if y'all can see that excess skin on my natural nail, but it's there, and that needs to be removed when I take off. Because I'm gonna do a feel. When I go in and I prep my nail, I need to make sure that I do that. If you don't remove that, then it can cause lifting. So, not to mention if now let's move forward because when you place the acrylic onto the nail plate, another thing before I get to the acrylic, don't forget to use the primer. I get it sometimes, and it happens. Even I've done well, not to like just overall, but I forgot to put primer on one finger before. Just remember, don't forget to put primer. Don't forget. But I didn't forget it entirely. I looked back and I was like, oh, I didn't put primer on there. But that's why I'm saying that. Don't forget to put primer. You need primer so it adheres, so the bond can bond, so can bond with the acrylic in the in the natural nails. That's the bridge to keep it there. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. There's some other things about primer, but I'm not gonna touch on that. Now, when you place the acrylic on the nail, it don't matter what bead method you're using, whether it's 3 bead, 1 bead, 2 bead, whatever. When you are placing when you're at the cuticles, because I know for the most part, if you're doing the whatever beat, if you do whenever because some people they do the 1 beat method and they start from down here and they let it hold for a little bit and then they skip the acrylic. I have to show y'all, and then they seal it down, press it down, and that's a great technique. But you obviously somebody's really advanced if they do it that way, and I've done it that way plenty of times. But I prefer the 3 beat method because usually when I do it that way, it's the same way I be wanting my apex on certain nails. It just depends on the type of nails that I'm doing. For the most part, I do the 3 beat method, but there are moments, especially like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I'm doing short nails, 9 out of 10, I do not do the 3 beat method. Sometimes I do, but if you ever want to cut down on some time, that's one way to cut down some time when it comes to do acrylic nails. Do the 1 beat method if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, please don't do it. Learn how to do it. Practice, practice, practice. If you continue to practice, you're going to get better and better. It's a guarantee factor when it comes to nails. Literally, like, y'all, my lips is bothering. I'm sorry, but literally, if you keep working at it, I guarantee you, 6 months will be 10 times better than previous 6 months of you. And that's just that. That's the name of the game in there. It was like I've never not seen a nail tech that is doing nails a year from now and hasn't gotten better. I'm telling you, I've seen some people they got better and better. That is so not cool. Better and better and better. So that's just something to keep in mind. But back to the acrylic. So when you place that acrylic after prep and doing the proper prep, oh, hold on, go back to prep. Let me go back to prep. I'm sorry, y'all. So when it comes to prep, a lot of individuals after they put the tip on, blend the nail tip. Not everybody blends the nail tip, by the way. I personally, a lot of people don't feel like you need to blend the nail tip, but me, from what I've realized, it depends on the type of tip that you have on. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, blending the nail tip is when there's like, when you put that nail tip, there's like, the nail tip is not the same height or, what do you call it? The nail tip is not the same. If you pay close attention, if you ever look, basically the nail tip is at a higher ratio than the natural nail plate. And the purpose of it is blending it that way. When you put that acrylic on, it won't be, it won't look very uneven. It'll be uneven, considered uneven. I've seen people do it and they know how to do it without blending it. I just blend it. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, there's been times I'm like, I don't need to blend this. I have different types of nail tips. You don't need to blend. I've had some I'm like, nah, it's gotta be blended. So just kind of think about that. But anyways, move forward. Especially after you blended the nail tip, a lot of people, when right before they're about to apply the primer, they go shoo, 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 and then that's it. And I've seen this all the time. So let me show you something. You see? Did you see? Tell me I don't see that. Y'all don't see that. What was that came out? Dust. And I get it. These brushes are designed to remove the dust and the particles, but especially if you have larger particles, it's gonna pull that off, but it doesn't get all of the, maybe sometimes, but not all the time, especially if you're using it consistently. It just like this one, which I'm gonna clean again, remove that debris. Hold on, y'all. I apologize because I gotta, that was bothering me. When it comes down to removing that debris, a lot of people don't realize it's still sitting there. They don't realize that it's not being removed off of the nail plate. It's literally still there. It's just now, sometimes, like, again, if you have like a lot, I don't know if y'all see, y'all see that? Because I just used it a second ago. If you're not cleaning it out, which again, I still wouldn't recommend you to just only use that. It's other methods that you can do besides doing it just that way. A lot of people don't realize they're not fully removed. And yes, you can still, it works, but this is something that makes a huge difference. I promise you. Because that's how I only used to do my nails. And I was like, and then when they started, it can cause, depending on how much debris is left there, it can cause popping, it can cause lifting, it can cause a lot of stuff. So, well, not a lot, but those are the two main things. And a lot of people, they be like, well, I don't know why they're popping off, right? And you watch their technique and you're like, try this. Instead of using the brush, now you can still use the brush, but I would go back in my, there's something that I use besides just that. And instead of, there's another thing. This is one thing that I use. Now there's something that I use with it. So not only am I doing that, it actually, the method that I use, it actually takes away time. So it's like the dehydrator and the moving of debris at the same time. So because if you are removing the big debris, sometimes that smaller debris is literally being transferred to that nail plate, right? Which means now when you put that, you again, we don't always see. It's like I call it the invisible degree. I don't know. It's sometimes if you got good enough eyesight, you can see it. And then you gotta put that primer on, right? So then when you put that on the net, also a lot of people don't know this, but only put the primer on the natural part of the nail plate. That's the only place it needs. It doesn't need anywhere else. But then you go put that primer on there. Guess what? Now that you've placed it in, you put it back in the primer bottle, and now a lot of people don't understand. I don't understand my primer is contaminated. Like that's literally one way of a big way of the primer being contaminated. And a lot of people they really because you so enmeshed in the process, you don't realize what's going on. So there was also one thing that I was taught. My nail tech, y'all, my nail tech that I grew up with, because she looked at me. It was so funny. She was like, "I don't know why I'm teaching you this, but at that time I didn't either. Like I was always into nails, even then, but I didn't know that I'd be doing them, right?" And she's like, I didn't even tell her. Like I used to. She knew that I loved getting my nails done and things of that sort, but she didn't know that I neither one of us knew this. And she's like, I don't know why I'm teaching you this. When you do this, do da da da, make sure you don't. So I learned a lot of my technique from her as well. But I'm grateful for her. I hope and pray I run into her one day. But anyways, hopefully she's a sweetheart. She was a sweetheart. But anyways, moving on. So so one thing, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all because this is important too because y'all finna love this technique. Well, it's not even a technique. It's just a help you save product, right? So I'm gonna show y'all some lint-free things. Lint-free. These are the napkins that I use when I'm doing acrylic nails. Okay, lint-free napkins, and then I have the 2x2 lint-free wipes, right? And y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you really want to test out and see if your wipes are lint free, soak them down and scrub really hard. And you're going to see if you're still truly lint free because sometimes the lint free wipes are not truly lint free. But, anyways, so, the primer. So, I'm going to take the primer. This is one of my primers. And I love this primer, by the way. Anyways, it's acid free primer. No, not sponsored. It's sparkling lemonade, you know. But anyways, and one of my I don't know if this is my favorite. I think this has become my first favorite primer. And again, I'm not sponsored, y'all, but this primer, I think I'm out. No, not completely, but I'm almost out. Anyways, where I was getting at, lint free, right? Whatever you. So whenever me personally, I don't use the brush that's in the bottle. Anyways, that's another thing. But when you use your primer, wipe it off. As soon as you get done dabbing your primer on all the nails, wipe it off before you place it back in the bottle. A lot of people do not know this. They don't do it. And I even had a few nail tests that would see my primer and they were like, your primer don't got no debris in it. There you go. A lot of I don't know. I can't really say I don't know everybody's technique, but I know a lot of people that I have come across they do not do that. They don't do it. And in the real world, when stuff gets contaminated, you have to change it out. You're supposed to. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. That's another thing. Now, let's move on to the acrylic. So again, when you're placing the acrylic on, you want to have that. I'm always preaching this. Like you want to make sure you have that little space down there, like between like. It don't have to be a huge space, but you don't want it. It's a inch. It's like a fraction inch that they use. In the book, it tells you like. It even tells you don't put that all that acrylic. Don't flood the cuticles, y'all. I'm getting tongue twisted. I'm gonna get over here. But anyways, so again, you don't put it all the way down there. You leave that space up there or whatever. And because when it cures, it goes it up and grows a little bit back or whatever. And you don't want to look up and have bloody cuticles. Okay? So there. So that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. Like again, for those who come across, if you want to get further into nails and you want to get further and literally upskill your technique, y'all go check out. I'm gonna place it in the description box once this video gets posted. But please go check out the description. Go check out the nail quiz. It's free. Go ahead and check out the nail quiz and see if you have any issues with, if you already know you have lifting issues or just take it in general and never know. Because what I've learned in the nail tech world, is nothing wrong with really upskilling. There's some things, go take you some classes, go do that because you never know. Like something that you could be doing that could truly, truly help you. So I just want to kind of put that out there. There's something you could be doing for years and you don't know if you don't go research, go. I like to go do workshops, webinars, all kinds of things. I haven't said this, but I'm looking to really upskill on my pedicures. I feel like my pedicures are decent, but I feel like they could be better. Do you understand? So never get too comfortable and content in when it comes to doing nails. Always look into, learning a few things and techniques that can help with some things that you, because I feel like one thing I've noticed, some things that we might struggle with, we don't think that others struggle with it, or the answer might be out there, but it's there. So y'all go ahead and take that quiz, especially if you have nail lifting issues. It's just a few questions on here to kind of ask, you know, just a few questions to kind of ask where to see where you are. It's not to like judge you as a tech or nothing like that. It's nothing personal or anything like that. It's just to kind of help you. And just go check out some of the other things. If you want to take this a bit further, go ahead and check out the Nail Ebook that's on there, guys. I guarantee that, well, I'm not going to say I guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that it would be helpful, or there's probably some things on there that you probably, I'm pretty sure I've seen. There's a lot of things around, but go check it out. Go check out the ebook if you have any nail lifting issues. Okay, y'all? So go check out the quiz. All right, so y'all, I'm probably about to snag off of here. Oh yeah, also I do want to invite you guys, if y'all interested in again more nail info. I'm gonna post this down too. Go subscribe to the email newsletters and things like that. Okay, because there's a lot of good nail information that can be shared, and who knows, you can check out that newsletter and you might help another fellow nuttic. All right, so y'all, if y'all don't know, again, I'm welcoming all new subscribers. I also, once the channel gets to a certain number, I'm not gonna say what number, but y'all, come on, y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But once it gets to a certain number, I got a surprise. Okay, so y'all, my name is Q, if you don't know. Till next time.